came in with the blue, the blue two-piece and everything. I appreciate that. Go ahead, man. Do your thing.
All right. So I'm like, man, oh my God, this brings back everything here. All right. So what's up, everybody?
What's going on?
All right. So I mean, I know y'all sitting out there and I'm standing up here, man. I've been where y'all at. I was sitting right there where y'all at right now. But I was inside of a penitentiary. So let me get a little bit of background about myself. My name is Adoniyah. I came to Minnesota in '92 just to visit, really, right? It was like right after that snowstorm hit. So it was like the blizzard, it hit like October 31st, 1991 or something like that. It was a big snowstorm, I know that. So I just came to visit. Experienced that little snowstorm. It wasn't really different from where I'm from. I'm born and raised out of Chicago. I got here when I was about 22 years old on that visit. While on that visit, my sister's boyfriend at the time, I met his family. Went back home that winter. So it was 91, excuse me, that winter. So that's following summer of 92. I was living in Chicago. I had just come home from doing like a 3-year bid in Illinois. I had just come home doing a little 3-year bid in Illinois. And then that summer, it was an attempt made on my life. So it was like my past had come back, kind of crept back up on me in a moment where could have been really detrimental to my life. Had a newborn son. I was supposed to have him that day that the attempt had happened on me. The unfortunate thing is that, some things was going on with my son's mom, and I didn't have my son with me that day. But an attempt was made on my life the summer of 92. So, my mom got afraid. Here I am, this kid. I'm just turning 21, coming home from prison, trying to make good on the rest of my life, and this happens. My mom wanted me to get out of there. So I had a sister and a brother here in Minnesota. So I come to Minnesota to visit them. Long story short, I didn't come to stay in Minnesota. I just came up here with my mother that summer. And I wasn't really going to stay. But when I talking to the groom's family, I actually landed a job. And the job that I landed, I was employing some of the skills that I actually learned in high school. You look familiar to me, man. How you doing? Nice to see you, brother. Right. So I landed this job working as an accounts clerk for Pillsbury. So here I am. I'm this 21-year-old kid, going on 22, and I land this $52,000 a year job. Okay? So here I am. I'm this kid, 21, 22, $52,000 a year. That was big in like 93, 94. The $52,000 ain't about nothing now. But so, I mean, I'm kind of living a high life, but I got one foot in and one foot out, though. See what I'm saying? It's 1994, I catch a murder. Just in a place, I think I'm just this player dude. I got this idea that I can bring all of these street ideas and this ways to make this money here with me. 1994, I got sent up for a murder that I was there. I didn't actually witness it happen, but I heard it going on. And what I did, because, I'm cat from the streets, I didn't tell nobody. How they got me was, it was my name on the apartment. This is my lease. The things that we were doing in the apartment, it was going to trace back to me regardless because my name was on the lease. So when it came back to me, only thing they can ask me, hey, what happened? What went on? Yeah, I could have said, man, look, this person never, but I didn't. To be honest with you, I was just more afraid of what the streets would do to me than the law.
There you go.
That's why I followed that mind, right? But I guarantee you, if one of y'all do something in front of me today, You can look at me crazy all you want to. I'm telling everything. Because I ain't going to prison for nobody else. I don't care who you is. That was 24 years of my life. That's gone. You understand? 24 years. Ain't no way nobody can ever tell me anything about the streets is worth me 24 years. So I'm still trying to mend fences with my children, with my family. I'm trying to mend fences with myself. So here I am. And I might look like I'm clean, like everything is okay, but I'm still struggling just like all of you are still, you know? I just understand the difference between living in my struggle and finding excuses why I cannot move further than understanding that I created this struggle for myself by thinking the way that I used to think, by believing the way that I used to believe, by hanging out who I used to hang out with, just by having interest in the things I used to have interest in. Think about this, particularly men, particularly you guys, man, think about this, man. I grew up in Chicago, 76 in Maryland. All right. That's what they called, it was Grand Crossing. Grand Crossing is a huge area. You got Old Block all up in there. You got, it's huge. So I grew up in that was my stomping ground, all 63rd, 75th, 79th, So I grew up with people who rode under the 6, people who rode up under the 5. I knew all of them. Really didn't get into gangbanging, but I would fight with any one of them. I didn't care. All right. But I lived in that life, and that was what I learned. That was what I cherished. That was what I interested in. If a man would have come to me in that state talking like Brother St. Price talks right now, I probably would look at him like he was crazy. That sounds like Spanish to me, because I don't know Spanish. It would sound like Portuguese. It would sound like, you understand what I'm saying? Somebody coming into my life at that point in my life where I got $1,000 coming from this individual here, 500 coming from that person over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting that easy money, and I'm thinking like it's going to always come. It's going to always be there. I got the game to do it. A man like that coming to speak to me while I'm in that kind of mind state, that would have sounded like gibberish. But the good Lord said that, I put you in prison. I will put you in prison and give you an amount of time to kind of sit with yourself and figure out what's up with you, man. All right. So I did. I sat in that prison, man, and I went into the deepest hole I could ever go into. Suicidal thoughts, all of those things. I just wasn't brave enough to do nothing like that. I still had some defiance in my brain, because it was like, I know I'm here for something I didn't do, but man, that didn't even step up and try to say, no, he didn't do it. Nobody came for me. Nobody came for me. My family couldn't understand it, so they was thinking like, well, maybe he did do that. You understand? So it all got lost in the mire. So here I am sitting in the penitentiary, man, and it's like in the darkest spot I could ever been in my life, and I'm thinking to myself, man, this life bit is crazy. What am I going to do here? I had the wherewithal and the bravery to file a post-conviction. And in that post-conviction, and I think this changed things for me now that I'm talking about it, in that post-conviction, I did it all by myself. Just followed the rules that was in the book to do it. They took the life sentence away from me and gave me second degree with intent. So it gave me a date. So now I got a date, but it's like, man, it is a far off. Here it is, 1996, and I'm looking at 2018. That look far, man, when you're just starting. With the date, I just started doing the time. I told myself, man, I'm finna get ready to exit out all of this stuff. If you banging, stay away from me. If you talking nonsense, stay away from me. If you, whatever you're doing, if it's garbage, just stay away from me. That's what I was doing in the penitentiary. And I was like, if y'all got a problem with it, my bruises will heal, but I'm going to fight you back. You got a problem with where I'm finna ready to do this time? Come on with it, take care of it now. Because if you come later, I don't think you're prepared for what I'm ready to do. That was kind of my attitude. I even told the police, I even told them when I got to the prison with a life sentence, you know what they did? The first job they gave me was in the kitchen, washing dishes. And here I am, a man who just got sentenced to life, and you give me a job washing dishes. It teed me off so much that I just walked into the job and told the guy, I said, hey, sir, listen, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not going to work this job. I just got sentenced to life. And you guys give me a job in the kitchen. I said, I want you to write this down. I'm not going to create a scene. You can come and get me. I'll take whatever discipline come. But if you want to assign me a job, a person that just got life, make it something that I can use later. Give me something that I can use later on in my life. I still had a life sentence, but for some reason, I was still thinking about later. And they sent me back to my cell. I got 30 extra days to do inside just because I didn't want to work in the kitchen. They gave me 30 extra days. That was the rules. You get assigned a job, you don't do it, you get disciplined. One of the discipline things is an extra 30 days inside. I'm glad I did that because every time I transferred to another facility and got assigned a job, they gave me something in education. So that means that they listened to me. I rode the education thing while I was there. I'm going to tell you something. If you guys have been in the penitentiary and you did any of those things, those programs, you can use those out here. Everything that I've learned in the picture is what I am using right now out here. I'm using it from rather it be how to be a good parent to my child, to boiler room, cleaning, manufacturing, sewing, you know what I mean? Printing, welding. I just took those things, I just learned them. However, I'm not, I am working in those fields. I still have those skills, but the field that I'm working in right now is, and before I tell you this, I'm going to tell you, I'm still on parole. I have 4 years left. I get off parole in 29. I work as a, what you call, I guess you could say a bail bondsman. I go in and I bail people out of jail. And I'm on parole. You're probably like, okay, how does that work? Simply, I believed in myself. It's just that simple. Only thing they can tell you is no. How many people have been told no in their life? And you're still here, breathing. That means you got opportunity. So just because you don't get the job that you want, or you don't get into the places that you want to get into, there's other places. There's other things that you can do that can lead you through them doors. You just have to use that ability that you have. Did I see somebody raise a hand? Oh, I thought somebody raised a hand. I'm over for questions too, if whenever you want to raise your hand too. So let me get back on track there because I don't want to be too long. All the skills that I had used, I'm just using them now. And now I'm like my computer skills. So that's what I'm using mostly right now. So when I went in, I got a job for a small business. And next door there was this computer shop called A+ Computers, right? So after I finished small business course, I took A+ Computers. That kind of changed my life because it introduced me to technology. You have to understand, I went inside when the Motorola phones look like those big electric razors. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? What were they, them MR1000s or something like that by Motorola's? Yeah, so I went in prison when those were out. It wasn't a lot of home laptop computers and all this stuff wasn't around. So my introduction to technology was in prison. And I learned how to build computers from the ground up. Then I learned systems, software. I just brought all this stuff out here now, you know? And I work in a field where we utilize data a lot, you know? So data means a lot in the field that I work in. We get the data, we learn about people's cases, so on and so forth. We see if they meet the criteria to get our services for bail, and we go and bail them out if they do. All right? I also work with children too. I work with our middle schoolers and I work with our high schoolers. All right. I'm with the mentoring program here at POP. You know, we do Girls Taking Action. You know, we have a group of women that go in and they teach the women, the young ladies, how to become women. I go in and I teach young men how to be men. You know, we're in a school setting, so it's like some things I can share, some things I can't. And it's like, I notice about our men is that, our young men is that they really are hungry for us, man. They're really hungry for us. And how I know it is because anytime we step to them with something righteous, they get upset. Don't they? They get upset because it's a challenge to them. So I'm wondering, even if I'm sitting here, standing here, and you guys are kind of listening to me, and I'm saying all of this stuff, like I just had it all together and in a bag. No, that's not it, man. Right? It's a struggle every day. I still go over all of this. I go over it all, and I teach it. You know what I mean? So it's like, on my way over here, I was thinking about this lesson that Pop taught us. And he taught us a lesson about currency, the flow, right? And a thing just hit me, Pops, with the currency and the flow. And this is this, right? The flow is going to always flow. Currency is going to always move. That's money. So I'm talking about money. So money is really currency. It's not money. I don't even know where money comes from. But it's currency because it flows. It goes. It continually goes. Now, what I had to figure out was this money is flowing with me or without me in it, right? So how can I get in that flow? How did I got in the flow because, first of all, I got with some men who wanted to do some good, and I started hanging with them. I cannot hang around my guys who want to smoke weed all day, play video games all day, talk about degrading women and stuff all day. I can't hang with you, bro. I ain't got much time on the planet. Can't be with you. There you go. So I just started hanging around guys. I'm a pop guy. Any pop guys here? Yes, see? Yeah, see, pop guy. So I can go someplace in the Minnesota and say, hey, pop guy. And I bet you somebody repeat it back to me. That's the crew we got. We all around you. You done seen us. Just didn't know who we were, man. We making moves out here. Y'all want to know why y'all even in here? We helped pave the way for you to be here today. And y'all gonna pave the way for the next group. That's what I'm hoping for. So I'm hoping that each one of you guys have success stories and you can bring them back to us. Because that's what I'm doing today. I'm just bringing success stories. I'm not finished though. I'm still going. But I stand kind of proud, man, to kind of be standing in front of individuals who I'm going to run into sometime. Again, right? I'm going to see you guys. I'll be like, hey, remember? I was like, yeah, what you doing? I'm doing this. I'm doing, oh, yeah, really? That's fantastic. That's what we're trying to build. For you guys who might have homies that's still out there in the street, second guess it, man. Second guess it. It can be your homies. It can be your family, man. It could be your father. It just is people, man. You have to put them in their circle outside of yours. If I want to give you any message today, is that right now you are forging your way into that currency, right? Because you each here and you're trying to lift yourself out of wherever you're trying to lift yourself to get to a better place. So you're trying to find a way in that currency. How that works is this. You can't always focus on the money. Focus on the skill. Focus on the talent. Focus on the network. Focus on exactly what you want to do. Because when you hone that in, that money is going to start chasing you. You get that? For real, it's going to start chasing you. I get emails now saying, hey, I know what you're doing. Can you? And I have to turn some stuff down because it's not in my schedule. So y'all are on the right path, man. And when somebody come talking positive about you, man, don't shun it or don't not take it. Take it. Because oftentimes, man, these people have been experiencing some things and they've learned some things and they can give it to you. You know what I mean? But you have to be ready for it. And it looks like all y'all are ready because that's why you're here. You know? Give yourselves a round of applause real quick, though. You know what I'm saying? And does anyone have any questions or something like that for me, man? Anything? Time, you know, yeah. Yeah, I was locked up down here. State. Yep, I did 10 in Stillwater. Well, the first 4 I did in St. Cloud because that was intake. 10 in Stillwater, 3 in Moose Lake, and then the last bit I was on back to Stillwater Farm, and I was released from Stillwater Farm. No, I got out in February of 2018. So yeah, got out in February 2018. So I've been on the block about 7 years. What's today's date? 11. In 11 days, I'll be out for 7 years exactly. Man, yes. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, but my setbacks were kind of like personal. They didn't involve the law or nothing like that. It involves like, relationships. You know what I mean? Jobs, family. I mean, I can't really say jobs, but family. How did I deal with them? Some of the things that I learned. Just some of the things that I learned. Like, I got my just this people, right? Books talks about them. You got the just this people. They're going to be there, right? They feel like they have a right to speak into your life and say and do things into your life, something that because they're your family. No, man. My mother gave me birth. She has a little bit more right to say anything. My father gave me right there. Sisters and siblings and cousins, no. But even mothers and fathers, if they're not adders or subtractors, if they're not adders or multipliers, I have to put them in their circle too. Just because you're my mom, my dad was okay.
Right.
All right. A lot of the things that a lot of the lessons that I learned from you, I'm not saying that, I'm talking about my parents here. A lot of the lessons that I learned from you, they were good, but they weren't sufficient enough to carry me through some of the things that I was faced with in my life. You know what I mean? It was an emotional component attached to that I didn't understand. I was illiterate. I was ignorant about. I was always wondering, why am I so angry? Right? Why I'd stand in the face of anybody. I think that was a problem of mine too. It was like I wasn't scared of anything. So it was plenty of times when I got stomped out for being tough or trying to be. You see what I'm saying? And it was like, and that was that emotional thing. I had to get in touch with that stuff, man. I had to rewire my brain about that emotional thing. And it's still there, but I understand it, so I don't kind of go off the flip end no more. Yeah. Good question. Thank you, man. Yeah. Did I answer that for you? Anybody else? Questions? Man, look, you guys are in a unique place right now. You guys on the precipice of really kind of like getting back into the flow, getting back into the currency, getting the current of things. You know what I'm saying? Man, this world is changing rapidly. Pay attention to what's going around you, man. You know what I mean? And if anything, be honest about it. Be honest about everything about yourself, about everything and the people around you. Be honest about it. There's gonna be some people, man, that you're gonna have to like exit out your life because we are talking about people. This is why it's called the Power of People Leadership Institute. Your issues are not derived from things or places. They're derived from things people do and places where people do it at. So you're always talking about people. Remember that key thing. Nothing has ever done anything to you, but someone has. Or they used something to do something to you. See what I'm saying? It's always people. Learn how to manage self, learn how to manage people, the world opens up to you. Thank you.
Have you ever felt a tug to go back to a life of crime in any way? A track to life?
Yeah, it's gonna always be there. Had I not ever learned it, it couldn't exist in my thought process or my memories.
Right.
But since it's in my process, my thought process, and my memories, I can smell something, I can hear something, and it'll take me back to those moments.
Right.
So this is why I can answer the question and say, yeah, I can remember it. Now, as far as thinking about going back to it, no. But I just remember what it was. Can I go back to it? Oh, yeah. I mean, there's guys out there right like now looking at me like, man, you did that 24, B? Yeah. See that? They'll do that for me. But no, man, I ain't going that route. No. Stay away from me. Lose my number, man. For real. I'd rather die before I go back into a penitentiary again like that, man. I'm just being honest with you, man. So, because at least at death, I'm not suffering. Pain real, man. Suffering a choice. And I ain't choosing prison. And me selling dope or doing anything like that, I might as well just be standing out of prison throwing rocks at it. Or standing on the curb off a bridge throwing rocks at police cars as they roll by. It's idiotic. Dope game is over. You can't win. Can't break in. Even. Can't get out of the game. Oh, that's Michael Jackson, man. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah.
Anybody else? Man, I'm so grateful for you.
I love you too, Pop.